What's up, SBT world? This is Tammy coming at you from the Sista Trippin Show, which I co-host with my sister Shauna. And today we have a really great treat. I am super excited to say that we have our very first guest and our very first interview with a dynamic person who I've been following for almost 2 years now. And that is Lencia Marshall. Say hi, Lencia.
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. And thank you, Tammy and you, Shauna, for inviting me. I'm excited about this interview.
Oh, my gosh. So, guys, let me give you a little bit about Lencia. So, Lencia is a dynamic motivational speaker and lover of people. She has an incredible testimony and has a gift for empowering women through it. Being a victim of sexual assault and domestic violence, she prides herself on helping women heal and own their pain to produce healthy and functional lives. She is the CEO and founder of High Heels and Pearls, which was birthed from the painful yet cultivating season of finding her purpose and clearing out the demons in her closet. So simply put, Lencia's quest is to empower strong women in leadership to fine-tune their personal development so they are confidently positioned to expect their monetary worth. Lencia Marshall, let's start tripping. Where are you tripping? What you tripping on? Yeah, we tripping. Okay, Lencia, we're gonna jump right into it. And
let's do it.
And what this is speaking to your expertise. Now, I may be wrong, so I want you to correct me. But it seems to me, especially after attending a couple of your events and conferences, that your expertise is empowering strong women in leadership. You put that in your bio, and that's what I gravitate towards. Could you speak to that?
Yes. Everyone, as a speaker and as an empowerment, I'm going to say person, because it's not just about when you stand in front of a crowd. It's also about your everyday lifestyle. Everyone is not your audience. Mm. You have to speak to a specific audience. I am my audience, right? Mm. But my audience is me, right? So I am a strong woman that's out in corporate, that is an entrepreneur who pretty much is like the strong friend for everyone around me. So that is the woman that I'm talking to. That's the woman that I'm empowering, because most times those are the women that people forget about, because those are the women that are pouring into everyone else and people forget to pour back into them. So absolutely, my target market is strong women in leadership, whether it's leadership in a ministry, leadership at their job, or just leaders in their family or leaders in their circle. Strong women in leadership. Like, some of us are natural born leaders. So yes.
Now we're back. Wanting to work with strong women in leadership. How did you get to that point of identifying that is your particular market of people who you want to work with?
I did a consultation with a coach, and she says, who is your woman? What does she look like? What does she wear? How much money does she make? What type of purse does she carry? What type of shoes does she wear? Does she dress up every day? Is she okay with jogging pants? And I was like, that's really interesting. And when I wrote down those things, the answers to all of those questions, I noticed that person was me. Like, I was looking for people like me, because and it always starts on the inside, right?
Yes.
So you, on the inside, I'm thinking, how is it that people can help me be a better person, and how is it that I can help other people be a better person? But the big thing is that I felt like it was a void. Like, I'm the strong person for everyone around me, but when it's time to pray, people call me, but who can I call to pray? You know what I'm saying? For me. Or when it's time for advice, people can call me, but I can't call them. When I want to fall apart, people can call me and fall apart, but it's not okay for me to call them and fall apart, because I'm the strong friend. And I identified that that's the woman that gets the least, attention. That's the woman that gets the least amount of, I guess you want to say, admiration, and gets the least amount of help. And so,
because I believe you got this. Oh, she got it. She don't need that help.
She got it all together. She don't need any help. And what people do not realize is that the strong woman is the one that's fighting those battles, those internal battles, every single day. And the difference in the strong woman and all the other women is that we don't say anything for fear that people will then lose, we'll lose our credibility, or we will be looked at in a different way. Just because I fall apart today doesn't take away my wisdom and my knowledge if you call me tomorrow.
Yes.
But that's the way our minds work. So we feel like we have to be everything to everybody. And that causes us to carry the burdens of everybody around us. And we never get that release of, just like, what about me? So that's how it came about for the strong women.
And I sense that, and I get that, especially like I said, I've attended a couple of your events, and it seems like you give women in leadership, strong women. They don't necessarily have to be in leadership. They just need to have a strong will about themselves and know that they want more for themselves in their lives. You give them that space to be vulnerable in that moment.
Yes.
And make sure that they're surrounded around other strong women who are allowed to be vulnerable in that moment, so that they can have that cohesiveness and that support group. And that's why I'm like, every time I go to one of your events, I'm like, wow.
Yes. And that's the important thing, because strong women always are looking for that safe space. And it's very rare to find a safe space that is truly a safe space without somebody walking around and be like, oh, did you see her? She was crying. And like I used to say, the only place you'll see me cry is at church, because that's the only place that it was acceptable for me to cry is at church. It's not acceptable for me to cry at home. It's not acceptable for me to cry around my mom, my dad, my brothers, or my friends, because, let's be real. All right. We want to trip and we want to be real, because it's looked at as being weak when you cry. When you're vulnerable, people think of it as a weakness. But do they really think of it as a weakness, or have we fooled ourselves to believe that that's what the people around us are thinking when we're being vulnerable? But we're still women.
Yes.
Even the strongest woman is still a woman, and there is still a softness. There is still a need for security. There is still a need for safety. And so, yes, I pride myself on providing that at my event.
So because I've read your book, and it's a wonderful, and
I have a new one coming out.
And she has a new one coming out. Oh my gosh. The Power of Saying No. Ladies, if you haven't downloaded this book yet, it's an ebook. It's a quick read, but it's a powerful booster. If you haven't had a chance to download this book, I'm putting you on notice right now. Lencia Marshall does have an ebook, The Power of Saying No. You could get it off Amazon, or you could visit her website at llminternational.org. You could definitely get it there. However, I want to go back to saying, clearing out the demons in her closet. That is one of the things that you said that I believe is you put in your bio, and also read on your website. But in order to get to being that strong woman, would you say that that is one of the prerequisites, is to clear out the demons in your closet?
Absolutely. There are seasons that, as a strong woman, you have to go through by yourself, right? Because you can't really be 100% open and honest and show your dirty laundry to everyone, right? You have to protect yourself and remain secure, right? But here's the thing. As a strong woman who pours into other people, you have to make sure that what you're pouring is pure. If you don't deal with your inner demons, if you don't deal with your inner issues, then what you're doing is you're pouring tainted, wisdom into people. And I said this one Sunday. I was up preaching, and I was saying, and I think I said this at the Ground and Grace event. Okay. What I'm saying will sound good, right? And it'll make you feel good. But if the spirit behind it is not correct, because I haven't dealt with my inner issues, then you'll find yourself battling some of the same things that I battle. And you're like, where did this come from?
And what are some of those
So
things
if I
that you
have
battled?
low self-esteem, right? So if I get in front of people and I haven't dealt with those inner issues of low self-esteem, when I project that out to the crowd, you'll have a confident woman sitting in the audience, and now I've planted that seed, and now she'll go and she'll pass a mirror and she's like, oh, I don't, why did I wear this? I look, no, sweetie, you look bomb in what you have on. You don't have to look like the next woman.
Yeah.
But that is a small nugget of something that strong women battle with. But if you don't handle that on the inside and you try to pour into other people, you're planting seeds.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying out of my mouth is going to be great. It'll help you, right?
Mm.
But in the long run, all I've done is planted that seed of doubt and negativity, and it takes root. And so I made sure that I take care of my inner self. I made sure that I had to address, because I can pretend to be whoever I want to be, and no one will really know but me, right? Me and God. We the only people that know.
Mm-hmm. And listen,
but if I don't handle that, it'll definitely come out.
Well, that goes back to what I heard you say one time before when you were speaking. You said, "Don't bleed onto people."
Exactly. When excuse me, when you have not dealt with your issues and you are pouring into people, that's exactly what you're doing. You're bleeding on them because you have a wound that you haven't addressed within yourself. And so all I'm going to do is like this. My heart is bleeding, so I'm just going to go and I'm going to smear it on you. Yeah. I'm going to taint you. Ain't nothing wrong with your heart. You good. But I'm just going to, and now I've projected my issues onto you, and now you have those issues too. It happens too often.
Amen. I totally agree with you there. And that's why I'm always trying to check myself before I step into somebody else's life, when I know I'm not right here or here. I'm not. And so that's why I resonate so much with not only with what you preach, but with what you write and what you encourage other people to do, because you are a walking example of that. And so that goes on to my next thing. You wrote, produce healthy and functional lives. What does that mean to you?
So I'll deal with me. I'm going to talk about me because everything is, I am my prototype. I am my prototype. So I used to do a whole lot, right? I would do a whole lot for a whole lot of people. I was starting businesses, I was running businesses, and nothing would ever be successful. Not for me, right? But I could help other people be successful. But for me, it would never give me the outcome that I was looking for. And the reason why is because my business could only be as healthy as I was, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, all of that, right? So when I began to deal with myself, I start to see that my vision and my businesses begin to grow and begin to expand, and that my thoughts begin to get clear. So when you're talking about healthy and functional lives, because some people are just doing routine day by day, and then they'll say, well, you know what? The fad is now to be an entrepreneur. So I'm going to throw that in there. And that's what I'm going to do. That's unhealthy, because you're not really being effective. You're not being effective for yourself. You're not being effective for your business. You're not really doing a balance of life, reality, and what you're actually thinking that you're doing. You're just like a hamster on a wheel, right? This is what you're doing. And all you're doing is running yourself into the ground, and you're not being productive. So when you deal with your personal development, you deal with the issues that you have, then you start producing. Then you start being effective. Then you can start having a healthy balance. Now, I'm not going to pretend like, okay, let me say this. Yes, about this physical healthy. Okay, because I like to eat. Don't judge me. Okay, I like to eat. Okay, but I'm still, but I feel like I'm still healthy. I'm not as healthy as Tammy and Shauna, but I'm healthy. Okay.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm like,
Tammy out here working out and stuff, and I'm like, girl, I just want some ice cream. Okay. Okay, I'm back. But yes, so being able to have healthy and functional lives, to not just be alive, but be living in what you're doing, living and breathing in what you're doing, and being able to breathe life into whatever you put your hands to, and breathing life into other people.
What keeps you motivated when you are not in your happy place? And I keep hearing you saying that you are you're the big sister, right? You the strong friend. And I know, speaking from experience, that is a heavy load. Because like sometimes I feel like one of my vices is cursing. And I think the reason why is because I have to let me tell you, because I have to be on point on everything else. And if I drop the ball, it's like explosion. So I think I curse because I feel like I have nothing else to like trip on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that sounds crazy. So like when someone is upset, like if you have like a person that's close to you and you always have to be that rock. So what keeps you motivated when you are not necessarily happy, when you're not in your happy place? How do you motivate yourself?
100% transparency. I go to therapy. Let me tell you something. Okay. People can pretend all day long like they have it all together. And I'm going to tell you just like this. I can only carry so much. Okay. I'm not God. I'm not the Father, the Son, or the Holy Ghost. Okay. So when it comes down to carrying people's burdens, that was not what I was created for, right? I wasn't created to carry them. Even though people bring them, I wasn't created to carry them. So I make sure that I have a regular calendar appointment with my therapist. I haven't been in the last month because I started a new position and it hasn't afforded me the time to go. However, you better believe if people are dumping on me, I have to find a way to release that as well. Now, what's motivating me is that I love to see other people happy, right? I know that sounds so crazy.
No, not at all.
And a lot of times, even when you're down, seeing another person smile or helping another person will make you feel amazing. So
I love that. Love that.
I would have a bad day. I could be going into the office and I feel like I should not project my bad day or my temporary feeling off on another person. So I still go in the office. I'm like, good morning, how you doing? And people would never know that I might have just gotten out of my car and have just had a crying fit and a breakdown in the car. And then all of a sudden you get a message and someone's like, thank you for saying good morning. I appreciate your positive attitude. I was having a really bad morning and your good morning lifted my spirits.
Wow. I love that. I love that.
That's the motivation.
Yeah.
That's it.
I love that you said two things that's kind of personal for me. One, I think a lot of us, especially in the Black community, it's okay to seek mental health. Like if you need to go to see a therapist or, it's okay. I mean, that's crazy that within the Black community, if someone is sad or depressed, it's like, oh, well, just, you know what, why you sad? You know what I'm saying? Like
the church gonna tell you to pray about it. And your friend gonna say, let's have wine.
I was going to say that. So go to church. You need to go to church. Why no, maybe you need to speak to someone.
Where's your relationship with Christ?
Yeah, you get that a lot.
The same as it was yesterday.
You know what? And I think I already know, maybe I'm just speaking for myself and maybe it's true for you. When I was like, what motivates you? Like I do say hi and bye to like everyone that I come across. And it's some of the people that's kind of, introvert like myself, I'm making my business to say hi. And sometimes maybe it's just because I'm nosy. But when someone smiles back at me, I can totally forget my own issues and just be really happy in that moment. You would think I just won the lottery. And I think
that is the total characteristics of a strong woman.
Yeah, I know this is going on in my life, but if you smile at me or if I can get you to laugh, like I forget what I'm going through. So that's beautiful. I think people like you are made, just made. Like some people are not as strong as you, and we need people like that. I just want to say this too for some of the women that are strong and feel like, I don't have my nails done. My hair is not always on point, or I'm not always saying the right things. And don't discount yourself. You're just a strong person. Because some people, if they went through what you go through in a month, will be just, they will call it quits. So yeah, and it's people like you that motivates others to keep going, to grow, and like that. So I just love it. Beautiful.
Thank you. I will tell you that something that you said about not being okay. It's okay to not be okay.
Yes.
Don't get to this place where you feel like, even as a strong woman, that's how you have to be all the time.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you, okay, no judgment. If every area of your life is on point, right? Then I don't curse in traffic. I do. I yell, but it takes something real deep to get me to curse, right? I have to be very upset. Okay. However, there still has to be a different outlet, because it's not healthy to, carry that, and that's the way you release, because somebody else may perceive it as you're being angry when you're not. You're just like, listen, this is just what I do. It's sort of kind of like people smoking cigarettes. Like, instead of smoking cigarettes, I curse, right? But the perception of it is that people were like, oh, well, why she mad? And you're like, girl, I ain't mad. Like, okay, I gotta be the mechanic, the mama, the daddy. I gotta be, the school teacher. I gotta be everything to everybody. I gotta be the big sister, the little sister. Matter of fact, I gotta be the furry mama. I gotta be everybody. Like, this is just letting my hair down. But you have to find a balance. And one thing, going back,
are you telling me to stop cursing, Lencia? That's some damn good advice.
I love it. See, I love it. I love this. This is going to be an amazing podcast. Yeah. No, I'm not telling you what to do either way. What I'm saying is find you a healthy balance. Do not allow people to stretch you too thin to where now you even need that part. You know what I'm saying? So, like, going back to the book of the power of saying no. Say no, and it's a full sentence. No with no explanation.
That is good.
Such and such?
I heard that before. No is a full sentence. I know.
A whole paragraph, girl. It's a whole paragraph.
Lencia,
and people be
there you go.
To get on that, because there was one part in your book that really stood out to me, and it's just standing on what you and Shauna is saying. You're being so much to so many people, but where do you find the time for yourself so that you're not losing it all? And there's this one particular little passage where I was like, oh, wow, this is powerful. And you said, I'm a direct quote, you say in your book, The Power of Saying No. If a person comes to you and needs you to save them over and over again, chances are you're the reason why they are staying in this cycle. And then you go on to say, I don't know about you, but the last place I want to be caught is in between a lesson and a blessing. Everyone isn't your project. So help them by learning to say no. Oh, wow. A lesson. What'd you say? A lesson in a blessing? I was like, wow.
Yes. Wow. And I'll give you an example. You have a family member or friend that every month they're short on their rent. And you're just going to keep on. Every time they come, you're like, okay, well, let me give you this because I don't want you to, be evicted and whatever the case may be. And you keep rescuing them. They're never learning their lesson. You know why they keep coming to you? You know why you're staying frustrated? Because you keep having to help them, because you keep doing it. Because the minute that you say no, they will find either someone else or they will find a solution to the problem. Because if they care about themselves enough, they won't get evicted. They're not going to let themselves, they're going to do what it takes. And that's what I said. You don't want to be caught between a lesson and a blessing, because people have to learn to stand on their own 2 feet. I can take you and I can teach you how to fish. Okay. That's the thing. I'm going to teach you how to fish, and then I'm going to go, back on land and mind my business. But if I have to keep going out and fishing for you and giving you the fish, Not only are you not learning, but now I've taken that whole responsibility and put it on myself and tiring myself out because now I have to carry your responsibility.
Wow.
So mind your business. Say no. Mind your business and let people learn their lessons on their own. That's how children become adults. That's how girls become women and boys become men. They have to learn lessons. Some of them hard. Some of those lessons are tough love lessons. But at the end of the day, that's how you produce effective and productive members of society.
Yes.
The people who are not effective and productive members of society are those people who people keep rescuing. And every time they give them a sob story, they just come to their rescue and they just leave them in the baby state.
Yeah.
Okay, so as a struggle woman and as the Rock, what lessons have you learned and what do you do so you won't continue to fall in that category of always saving people, always, saving someone from when they know you are the Rock and they know I can always come to her for help. What are some of the things that you do or have done to make sure that you're not being taken advantage of for your kindness, or you're not prolonging someone else from learning a life lesson?
Number one, I say no. I know when I've had enough, and when situations, as long as situations are not making me feel some sort of way and they're not, frustrating me and and I don't pay attention to them, right? I don't pay attention. And if it's not really affecting me, I'm like, oh, well, it's not taking anything from me, right? And then all of a sudden I start seeing a pattern. I'm like, wait a minute. These are time thieves. No, you cannot call me and ask me for, that's bad, for the same exact thing 20 times in 1 month. You didn't listen to the first advice I gave you. So now you're just stealing my time. So the first thing, no. And for me, it is hard to say no to people because I am naturally a helper, right? I'm naturally a nurturer and I want to see everybody win. But I had to go through the growing pains of realizing that everybody don't want to see me win, right? So in essence, I have to train and teach people how to support or how to deal with me. And I do let people do things over and over again, but then when it's time to stop it, it's just time to stop it. And I simply just say no. And I have that conversation and I let them know, you have to learn a lesson from this. You have to understand that I will support you in any way possible. However, I need you to learn the lesson in this because you've been tested in this manner right here too many times. That lets me know that you're not learning. And at this point, I have to step away.
Boundaries.
Because I can't. Yeah, because I can't save you. And people have to, Shauna, people have to want what you are giving them. Right. They have to want to be better. They can't just say it with their mouth. They have to have action behind it. So if going back to the rent, if the reason why you don't have rent money is because you don't have a job, but then next week I tell you that there's a job opening and you don't apply for it and you come back to me next month, we have a problem. Because you're not applying yourself to even be better. So it's a hard thing. And I put on my poker face and I'm like, no. And to believe it or not, that's how that book came about because I just got tired of being taken advantage of. And I'm like, yes, I'm a nice person. Yes, I will give you the shirt off my back. But I also understand that in cultivating people, that all I'm doing is crippling them. So I say no. I told you it's a whole paragraph. And you say no and people still be sitting there like, what you waiting on? I don't have to give you an explanation. No.
I know.
Yeah, they're waiting on what's next. Like, no, for right now. Come back and ask you tomorrow. No.
I love it.
Yeah. And sometimes I say it with a smile.
No. Kind of.
I know, right?
And so, okay, so I'm looking at your high heels and pearls, which is your baby. High heels and pearls. And I took it straight from your website because I was reviewing your website. High heels and pearls is your trademark brand that allows you to host healing events that empower the whole woman. So with that said, going back to helping women heal and own their pain, in what ways have you seen women not allow themselves to heal themselves enough to own that pain, or they're in denial that the pain even exists?
Oh my gosh. I'm going back to me. I told you I'm my own prototype. Then if I start describing something, they might watch this video and might know I'm talking about them. So I'm going to use myself as an example. For years, I was angry, and I didn't know I was angry. And my dad said to me one day, my dad came to Chicago. As a matter of fact, when my son turned 1, Bryson turned 1 year old, and my family came and we had a big birthday party. And my dad was like, "Why are you so angry?" I was like, "I ain't mad. Like, what you talking about?" And my dad was like, "You are angry." I was like, "Daddy, no, I'm not angry." I was like, "Stop saying that because you're making me upset, telling me that I'm angry." And my dad is a very soft-spoken, very meek and mild person. And I knew that what my dad was saying was not to hurt me, right? That it was only to make me a better person. And I had to do that evaluation. And the thing is, it is very hard to look in the mirror and realize that who you thought you were is not who you are. And that you are broken. That is hard to admit that, oh wait a minute, I'm broken. Like, what's wrong with me? Now you feel like a bird with a broken wing. I can only fly but so far. I can only get so far off the ground, and then I fall back to the ground. When you don't deal with it and you're in denial, it's toxic for you. It took me a long time to journey past being angry, because one of the things is you have to now find out what is the root of the anger. And it's not really anger, it's hurt, right? Yeah. It's not anger, really. It's hurt. But because as the strong friend, okay, you don't know how to process your feelings of hurt, because we have to always be strong. So you can't hurt my feelings. You can't touch me. You can't hurt me. So it comes off as being angry when we just really don't know how to process hurt. And a lot of people don't want to admit that they're hurting and that they're broken. Last year, I did a conference, Moving Beyond Broken Pieces. And I noticed a lot of people didn't want to come. I was getting inboxes like, "Well, I'm not broken." You are, because you just inboxed me to tell me that you're not broken. That's how I know you're broken.
Come on now.
No, I'm serious.
I know.
Because you're in denial.
Yes.
Because it was something about it was something about the title that drew you in to where it struck you, and you felt the need to say, "But I'm not broken."
Yeah.
And those are the most dangerous women. Not talking about men. Those are the most dangerous women that you will encounter, because those are the women who will identify the issues in everyone else and never identify the issues in themselves. They will never go through the process. And I don't want to say never, but they're not in the mental headspace at that time to go through the process to actually be better, be better and get healed from what it is that they're going through. And one of the ways that I actually help people to identify that, there's an exercise called Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. And I've done this exercise. I used to facilitate a women's empowerment boot camp every first Friday for the church. And we had more than just our church that was there. So women would come, and I pulled out the mirror and I said, "What do you see? What do you see?" So all of these women, some of them living in denial, we put on makeup, we get our hair done, our nails done, and we're thinking that everything is all so gravy and sweet and that we have it all together. They would get in front of this mirror, and the mirror wasn't magical, right? The mirror wasn't magical, but when they got in front of it, they had to identify what it is that they really saw. You can lie to me, but you know what you see when you look in this mirror. You don't see the makeup, you don't see the sew-in, you don't see the nice clothes. You see your inner issues. And that exercise has helped so many women that I've encountered understand that they had things going on with them that they didn't realize that they had going on. And yeah.
Wow.
So.
You know, you said something, you was like, hurt women, and I think men too, hurt people are the worst people to be around.
Oh,
they're the
it's
most
dangerous.
Because, and I'm wondering, and I say this a lot, the same as insecure people. Hurt women, you know, they have the insecure people, hurting people are the worst to be around. And I'm thinking, this is my theory, I'm thinking it's because they see something in you that they see that's wrong with them, and they either force you to deal, like you said, they always they tell you what's wrong with you, right? They tell you, oh, but they so quick to judge, but you looking at them like, honey,
speck in your own eye.
Honey, come on now. You not
speck in your own eye.
You not living in reality. Me and Tammy had a discussion before. It's like, insecure people, they are the worst to be around, because what they're saying may be true, but it, like you said earlier, it's coming from a place of hurt. We're so happy that you're here, like giving us all this insight, both, you know, professional and personal, like pointing out, like, because this is exactly what we want to do. Build a community where you can come and just be open with it, okay? Like you said, like earlier, you was like, Shauna, your potty mouth is not okay. And I was like,
Tammy, I did not. Tammy,
yes.
that was not my quote. Okay.
No.
No, can we? You know what? No, can we have a real conversation?
Yes.
Can we have a real conversation?
Yes, that's it. Let's go.
Like,
and that will be edited out.
And you was saying, no, Shauna, don't let no one bring you to the point where you have to curse. Because even my mom was like, well, Shauna, don't curse like that. And it's coming to a point where I curse in my everyday life. I'm like, just some good coffee. You know what I'm saying?
That will be edited out.
No, but I'm gonna be real. But I'm gonna be real with you. I was like, what she's saying is true though, because I was not raised like that. I was not raised to curse, and you shouldn't curse. Having a potty mouth is not okay. But I know
you are a lady,
and I know it's coming from a place of love. And I was like, here is a woman who, when she say, and this is why people gravitate to you, because it was delivered with love, and it was like, I have to tell her potty mouth is not okay. Most people would be like, oh, she got a potty mouth, but I'm not going to say nothing because she might take it the wrong way. Oh, but she got a potty mouth, but I'm just going to keep it closed and say something about her behind her back. This is exactly what we want to build here, is a community of safeness. We want people to say, hey, point out to me, hey, Shauna, your potty mouth, for whatever reason, is just not okay. Would you allow your daughter to speak that way? And so I love it when you say that.
Look, I'm glad you received it in love. I'm glad.
Yeah, and I see, you know what, because I don't know your history as well as Tammy, but I do see that you are actually living, practicing what you preaching. And you don't come across, you come, because I used to be,
you just made me get emotional for a minute.
No, for real. I used to work in a social service field. And if you would have told me I'm a social worker, I would have believed you. You sound exactly like a social worker. Now, for real, you got a lot of knowledge here. Like, you are on point with like everything.
Let me tell you about this thing about walking it and talking it, because I am so passionate about being genuine and authentic to the point where I laugh and I joke a lot, but that part of being genuine and authentic, like, that will definitely take me to another level. There are so many people in this empowerment community that are not genuine and they are not authentic. It's about $1. They're just doing something because they feel like this is something that's going to gain them wealth. Listen, these events is not where my wealth comes from. Like, let's be honest. And a lot of times I'm in the red at the end of these events. And, you know, like, everybody around me, my team, and everybody be like looking at me upside my head like, I'm like, listen, did the people get fed? Okay, leave me alone. Okay. But it is so real to me to where I have put friendships on the line. Like, either you gonna get in line with this, or we're not going to be connected anymore. Because
how do you
I'm
do
not
that?
going to, girl, just like I just said it. No, because I'm a very, very nice person, and I try to stay away from a lot of conflict, like, because especially when people don't understand how to receive, like what I said, you translated into what you understood it to be, and you took it in love. Everybody doesn't give that response. So when it comes down to being genuine and authentic about empowering women and being real, I draw the line. There is no laughing. There is no joking. There is no any of that. I'm serious about it. Don't come to me and tell me that you want to pour into women and you're not living that life, because I will end our friendship. I will end our relationship. I will end our connection, because I cannot have people around me who are saying they're empowering and they're not genuine and they're not authentic. I don't mean genuine and authentic in the front of the room or in a group of people. I mean genuine and authentic when no one is watching, no one is looking, no one knows, when you're in the house by yourself, when you're scrolling through Facebook and you see somebody cute and you're like, I look better than her. No. You're not genuine. You're not authentic.
Come on.
And I was having a conversation with a friend last night, and we were talking about being an intimidating person. Am I intimidating, or are you intimidated? You get what I'm saying? So when it comes down to, a lot of people have told me that I'm intimidating, especially when I start talking about empowering women and being what I would like for somebody to be to me. That's what I do. I be to others what I want them to be to me. And let me tell you, am I intimidating, or are you just intimidated? There's a difference. There's a different perception behind that, right? So, so I don't mind. I don't mind cutting people off when they come down to stuff like that.
The crazy thing about it is, like, I hear you, and and what you saying is real good, and I feel, but to me, I feel like if I say what I want to, like with
say
my
it just
family,
how you want to say it.
With my family, and even with you now, I'm myself. But I'm always afraid to intimidate others, because I always feel like I have to apologize for hurting somebody else's feelings. And I try to do it with love, but for some reason, it always come off.
I will apologize for hurting someone's feelings, right?
Like, how do you do that professionally? Like, even at my workplace, like, people think I'm so, well, let me say this. It's so weird. I'm either a bitch or I'm passive. It's like,
Lencia ready to give it to you. Let Lencia tell you.
What? Because this is how I say it. I've had these situations in the workplace and personal, and I simply let people know. I apologize if what I said was offensive to you. I apologize if it hurt your feelings. However, it does not change that I meant every word that I said. Period.
Come on.
Now, if you want to have a conversation about what I said, that's fine. But we're both going to be respectful. And I do genuinely apologize, because it was not my intention to hurt you or to offend you or to put you in a position where you felt like you had to be defensive. But let's be clear. I meant what I said. And that's how I handle it, whether it's professional or whether it's business, because I say what I mean what I say, right? Perception is everything. So in an instance where a person's feelings are hurt, my intentions mean nothing to them, right? So I'm apologizing. My apology is because you perceived it to be that way, right? So if you're hurt, I can't tell you, oh no, I didn't hurt your feelings. If if you feel offended, oh, I didn't offend you. No. I can't tell you about how you feel. What I can do is own my part and making you feel that way. But I still need you to understand that what I said, I still stand on it. And I stand on it in love. I stand on it in respect. And and I stand on it as professional as I can. But I do stress that point. Like, I'm apologizing for the way you feel, not for what I said.
All right.
And if you say it now, Shauna, I will say, if you say it in a different manner to where, you know, like it's aggressive, then yes, you may have to apologize for how you said it as well. But it does not change that my message and what I said stays the same.
Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
All right. Well, this is going to bring us to our final question. Our final.
Ooh, already? Okay.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like I'm getting to know her.
I like this.
Well, I just want to say this before. Do you have any background in social work? Do you?
I do not. I have never desired to be a social worker.
Well, you are one.
Am I?
Well, you are one.
Well, somebody need to give me that LCSW behind my name without me having to pay all that money to go to school to get it.
Wow.
Okay, we're going to do a drum roll. Drum roll, please. This brings us towards our Trippin Tour success. Final question for Lencia Marshall. Lencia, out of all the trials, tribulations, and successes you've experienced, what is something you wish more people could understand as they're tripping towards their success?
I got two wrapped up in one.
All right, come on.
The first thing is that it's okay to not be okay. And the second thing is when you're not okay, it's okay to go get help. I think that those are the two biggest things that people deal with. And right now, this spirit of suicide is real, and it is alive in people's life and in different communities, you know, not just minority communities, these celebrities who have everything and they're taking their lives because they feel like they always have to be okay. Always. I always have to have my makeup right for the paparazzi. I always have to have the right answers in the interviews. I always have to be on point.
Right, yeah.
And they just need to know it's okay to not be okay. And when you're not okay, don't sit there in that misery. Don't sit there in that pit. You have to go seek help. And the thing is that everybody wants to call our friends. Well, guess what? Our friends are not qualified to handle the issues that we face, right? Because everyone, you know, like I've learned I'm a different type of person. So I'm an analytical learner, right? So I analyze everything that I go through in life and I figure out how I can do it better and apply it in a better way, make it more efficient. But everybody doesn't have that type of friend, right? And even with me, I tell some people when they come, you have to go seek professional counseling. I am not qualified to help you in that area because nothing that I'm going to say, I can pray into the heavens open and give you a release, but that's probably temporary. Like I'm a minister. Let's get this real. It's not that I don't believe in God and I don't believe in prayer, but I do believe that God put people here and gave them professions to be able to assist us through this life. And we want to look at these people as the enemy. We want to look at them as the plague when they're really just here to help us. It doesn't mean we're crazy. No. What it is that you're crazy when you don't go get help. Okay?
Right.
Because mental illness is real. And whether it's a mental illness that is long-term or if it's a mental illness that's plaguing you right now, your friends are not qualified to get you through that. There are people who have gone to school. There are people who have done studies and research. That's where you need to seek your help. Alcohol isn't going to do it. Smoking isn't going to do it. Drugs, marijuana, that's not going to do it. It's not going to solve your problems. You have to know that it's okay to not be okay and that it's okay to seek help when you're not okay.
Well said. Well said.
Thank you so much for that, Lencia. Well, before we let you go, we want to let you guys know that Lencia does have an event coming up if you all are interested. Lencia, could you give us a little bit more detail about your event that's coming towards the end of March?
Okay, so I actually have an event. I'm speaking at an event this Saturday, March 16th. I pushed back. I was having an event in May, but I'm pushing it back to July because I got some good stuff and I got some good stuff working on it. So in Q2 of 2019, I'll also be releasing a book, my second book. And I'm not ready. Well, you know what? I'll give you guys the exclusive.
Oh, come on. Yay,
Okay.
exclusive.
I'll give you guys the exclusive. So the name of my book is Grind and Grace. It is actually a 30-day program and process. It is very interactive because there are questions that are asked that will help you through the process of, you asked about people identifying them being in denial. It helps them go through that process in both professional and personal development.
Oh, love it.
So yes.
Okay, so you got a book coming out in June.
I do.
Where can people?
It'll be before
It'll
June.
be before June.
It'll be before June. I am slated to release this book in April and have an official launch in April. The book is done. I'm working with some very amazing people to get the graphics and, you know, get the edits done for the book. So I'm ready for April.
Awesome. Lencia, where can people find you on social media?
On social media. So on Instagram, you can find me with the @ high_heels_pearls on Instagram. On Facebook, my personal page is Lencia L. Marshall. And my business page is High Heels and Pearls. And then it says Lencia Marshall Ministries. But if you put in High Heels and Pearls, you will definitely see my logo come up.
Awesome.
And let's see, I'm on Twitter. I'm not really on Twitter. But I do have a Twitter page and it pops up and I read some interesting stuff. And my website is www.llm-international.org. And there's a place on there if anyone has any questions, concerns, or comments, please go on the website and leave them. And you can even email me at info@llm-international.org. And I respond to emails myself when they're sent to me. So yes, that's it.
Cool. Shauna, do you have anything else for Lencia before she goes?
No, because it would carry on the conversation. I just want to say.
Well, you know what? You got this. Bring back for part 2.
There we go.
Yes, definitely. I just want to say.
Bring back for part 2.
I think you are very authentic. I love your personality. I love everything about you. And you just motivate, just speaking personally, you just motivate me to become a better woman, to want to be better than what I am. And I just love it. I just love this conversation with you. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm so happy. You are welcome. I'm so happy that you all saw something in me and asked me to come and be a part of this conversation. You guys have definitely made my day.
Awesome.
Because I never take it lightly for this stuff. And I don't care 10, 20 years from now, I'm still going to get excited when people ask me to come and be a part of their lives. Amen. So thank you, both Shauna and Tammy. Thank you guys for always supporting me, because you guys be supporting.
Girl, hey, when the real is real, you got to keep it real. And so in order to keep it real, you got to keep giving the real. So I'm going to keep supporting you so that you can continue to pour into people. When I say that, I mean it.
Thank
you. And I just appreciate it.
Thank you. And you guys keep doing what you're doing, because people don't see a lot of this. You guys are blood sisters and you're out here together. And because of reality TV, people see us in a whole different light. And these tough conversations that you're talking about with life, even having fun and work and, working out, spoken words, you guys are amazing.
Thank you.
Keep doing what you guys are doing and pouring that positivity back into the world, because it's needed. And it's so few and far between. So I love you guys.
I just want to say, whatever you just said to us, I want to just say right back to you.
Seriously, right?
Thank you. No,
we say everything back to you verbatim. All right, you guys. So that was our interview with Lencia Marshall. Go get her book, download her ebook. Again, like I said, it's a quick read. However, it's very impactful and very powerful. You can find it on ebook and on Amazon, shall I say, and it's The Power of Saying No. If this is your first time joining us on SBT, the Sisters Be Trippin Show, please don't forget to subscribe. And to everyone else who's been tuning in and listening to our podcast and joining us on Instagram, please continue to do so, but leave your comments. If you see there's room for improvement that you would love for us to touch on topics where we haven't yet, then let us know what topics you want us to touch on so that we can welcome it to the community. And it's coming from everybody, because everybody got something that they went through and a story to tell where they can help.
And as always, let us know what you're tripping on.